Why start a YouTube channel? I guess that was the question I asked myself when I started this. And the reasons are a few actually. And one of the main ones is about confidence in myself and talking to a camera. Also with my speech, how I look, um, and things like that sort of things. And just, oh, fucking hell, this is terrible. So why start a YouTube channel? I guess my answer would be to challenge myself to something new, as I've always been very aware of my speech and the way I sound, and what I think of the way I speak and the way I sound, and it hasn't really been that good. So this is a journey for myself to become more confident with the way I sound and speak to people. And the new part of it is talking to a camera, which is a very, very strange thing to do because you're not actually talking to a person. So why start a YouTube channel? Uh, well, as I said, it's a challenge, and there are a lot of things to sort of take into account when you do create your channel. So I'm going to talk about a few of those things that I have come up against with creating this channel. So I've got some notes down here, so I'm going to look at them. So if you look down, you'll see, yeah, you'll know why. Okay, so I guess one of the first things is actually talking to a camera. So I'm just using an old smartphone that I came across, and so I've got that set up on a tripod, and I'm sitting at a park, looking at the camera, and trying to think of something to say. I found that before I start recording, I've got all these thoughts in my head about what I'm going to speak about, what I'm going to say, and whatnot. And then I turn the camera on, and bang, my bloody brain goes blank. And all those things I've thought about saying just go. So I've decided to take a few notes and just so I can sort of prompt myself along the way and look down at my camera. So if you see me looking down, you'll know why. Okay, how I sound when I listen to my voice playing back through a video. I've always had, like many of you probably have had as well, when you hear your voice play back, you always think you sound terrible. Oh, I mean, I know this, you know that. So that's a strange thing to sort of come into contact with as well. But I think the more you do it and the more you listen to yourself, the better you get, and the better you get, and you realize that you don't actually sound that bad. So that's been my experience, has been that I don't sound as bad as I originally thought, because I thought I used to sound bloody terrible, but I don't. I sound okay. Now, but I think I'm looking at the camera. I'm looking at me in the camera right now. But if I look like this, I'm looking at the actual camera. So I'm going to try and look at the camera and not look at me. So hopefully this video won't be a wasted effort. Okay, so then there's also the way you look. So everybody's sort of, well, not everybody, but a lot of people are sort of really concerned about their appearance and the way they look and present to other people. I'm not so fussed, but I have a bit of a thing with the way I speak. My mouth doesn't seem to be symmetrical when I speak, but that's one of my personal little queries. It's really inconsequential about, you know. So one of my things is something I don't like about myself, something I'm not happy with when I look at myself on a camera, and it's the way I speak, the way my mouth sort of seems to not be symmetrical when I pronunciate words. I think that stems back to when I had an encounter with a bridge when I was 18, but that's a whole nother story, which I might bring up one day. So yeah, so my speech, I always thought wasn't too good, be the way I sounded or the way I pronounced words and spoke, and also the way I looked. But I have been getting used to that. The more I do little videos and watch, like when I watch them back to edit them, I've got to listen to myself, and I don't sound too bad. So I'm getting through these challenges and these fears that I started with. It's a slow process, but it is a process, and I am getting better at them. So I've got people starting to walk around the park now, so you might hear them. If you do, oh, it is what it is. Okay, so what's next on the list? Content, creating content. What content should I create? So I've been searching through endless videos about content and content creation. What sort of things should you create? How to create them? And there's so much information out there. It can be overwhelming. And it's hard to sort of make a start because you've got all these different various inputs to say do this, do this, do this, and do that, and how to make the particular video and what you should say. Excuse me. So I found these can be really inhibiting by viewing so many videos. I've decided to just create videos or what I think I want to talk about, which I guess individualizes your channel and is more of an authentic way of doing it because it's something you want to talk about that is inherently you. So video titles and descriptions. So I read a lot about and watch a lot of videos about video titles and editing and descriptions and tags and whatnot. And it's a whole world out there just on those three topics, like titles, descriptions, and tags. And I'm no professional at all. I have no idea. I'm just regurgitating what I've seen on YouTube. So what I do, I have an idea for a video, and I write it in the way I would write it, and I might sometimes get whacked into some sort of AI ChatGPT thing to get a few variations. So because they take into account search engine optimization to help get your video picked up with what's trending at the time in your area. Then you can also correlate the high SEO words in relation, or correlate with them with your description as well. It all sounds very scientific, and it probably is. But that's sort of the way I've started, but that's what I've been doing with creating titles, videos, and tags. There's plenty of generators around that all do probably a similar thing. I think that's about it for this video. I hope you got something out of it because I'm really trying to give you something. I'll look into the camera. So I hope you got something out of this because I'm really trying to give you something that you can use if you want to try and create a channel or even creating a video. I mean, I'd love to be able to help someone in any way, shape or form with creating content for a video or just putting a channel together. So if you've got any queries or questions and you'd like to know more, or would you like to know more about me or what happened to me when I encountered a bridge back when I was 18, I'd be happy. I'd consider talking about that in more detail, but people have got to watch the video first. On that note, I'm going to have my cup of coffee, and I hope you have a wonderful day, and I hope to speak to you again soon. Until next time, cheerio.